Uh,
You doing okay?
yeah. Not sure how it's. I gotta like. Oh, hey Tori, I'm okay. Um, uh, I'm just trying to write something. Thanks to
Sorry.
I gotta be careful like with some stuff. How I like. Uh, I don't know. Pat code. Cool. So I made this cool little tool. I want to show it real quick because we show what we're doing, right?
Yeah, building the open,
All
man. Show
All
and
right.
tell. Show it off.
So I made this, like I was telling you the other day, I made this cool little tool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
multi-sig. Let's
right
go.
here. Oh, it's gotta share. Okay. So
This is what you
ignore
want.
like.
I put it. It's on the screen.
All
Jumbo.
right. So I just recorded a video and I was changing the text to upload it to X. So I was just trying to get that done before I got distracted. So simple is you create like your gov name, whatever, and then you set, however many centers you want, and then you drop a list of keys. So just do that and you can just keep adding them, right? Delete,
Yep.
submit, goes to transaction, whatever. That's pretty simple. This is to change it. Essentially, you can pull in. I tested this one earlier. So this is the one I recorded. So this is just the keys I threw in here. What's cool is once you get that done, obviously those are the only people who can sign your transactions. So you just go in here, you pick a mirror, for example, you drop your TX hash in here that you want to approve, you initiate, it loads it. I'm going to spare everybody because it takes like 5 minutes to do all this and wait for transactions to finish. But the cool part is, so for non-developers, I have another button. I had some parsing issues. I think I'm going to do like a transaction builder like you have, that's scoped just for this so that it's easier. But like if you want to do like a stack transaction where you're deploying like 20 things at once, I don't think the web front end's ideal for that. I think you're going to have to do that in the back end. It's just different, right? There's only so much we can do. Like complex operations are complex. They are what they are.
Yeah.
And so what you can do though, just go in here and approve. And once you hit the approval threshold, you can submit that transaction to the blockchain. So I think a non-dev probably will be the one who initiates this and sends it to be mined. But everything in between is meant to be for anybody. So anybody who can connect a wallet, that's it. And now you've got this covers multi-sig for, you can see our code. Pascal gave me a code challenge, which was basically this. He deployed this with my cap and said, update this contract how you want it. So obviously this is how I was going to do it. And so I had to go through the motions of building transactions and doing all this fun stuff and breaking stuff and testing. But at the end of the day, this is what I did. This is all I had to do, generate a transaction, and then I sign it once it's approved. If it's not approved, it will fail. Hard fail. But now you can use this cap in your contract right here. So this is it. Now your governance cap has a multi-sig cap that's controlled through that process. Like very simple, kind of complex to set up. It wasn't like a 5-minute like setup. But I think it's cool. I think it's a cool way if you had like a massive project that you wanted the community to own, you could do it through here. You could do it through here. There's no reason you couldn't. I think it's up to like 10,000 before you hit a gas limit. So you could have a 10,000 multi-sig key at your fingertips.
Nice.
I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
managing it, there's pros and cons to everything. I get that. I'm also going to do it where you can sign a transaction in the browser with a W account, but this avoids all that. It's nice and simple. For non-devs, this will be, in my opinion, will be very nice to do a simple transaction.
Yeah.
So,
I love it, man.
yeah.
MVP. Amir's the MVP.
Yeah. So Pascal did I was talking to him. This is it. This is the whole contract. Like nothing. Like half these are just local calls on testnet. So it's 110 lines of code basically. And now you drop this in your namespace, you throw a little UI on it, and you can manage a whole you can do whatever you want with it. But any cap can be satisfied with this. So you can do all your ops functions. Can't withdraw unless there's a 51% threshold, whatever you want. So I'm happy with it. It works very smooth. So far so good.
It looks clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, I was talking to him on Sunday, and I'm like, it wouldn't it be nice, because I was going to do it another way, and he's just like, if you don't mind, can I explain something else to you? And I'm like, okay, fine. Like, hit me up. I'm always open. And he's like, what about doing it this way? It's harder, but I think it'll be better. And I'm like, it sounds a lot harder than what I was going to do. But at the end of the day, I think it's a better, if you think about changing keys around, this is an easy way to do it. If you do a W account, that becomes more complex of an operation. So to me, this is like a nice in-between, scoped for deploying contracts easily with multi-sig. That's, to me, what this satisfies. So cool. Just wanted to show. I'm excited. Very excited.
Looks good, man. I feel like Cadena needs that tool hardcore, and I didn't want to build it for him, and so I salute you for doing it.
It wasn't that, like I said, we had this working on Sunday. We decided on Sunday, and he offered to help do I could do the pack code, don't get me wrong, but he offered, and I wasn't going to say no. Like, then I started working on the front end and a little bit of the operation on the back end, and here we are. I mean, just boom, done. So I can't complain. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. That and our marketplace. Just gotta probably not show all this stuff, but this will be our new minter.
Ooh.
I hope it's pretty clean. So try to make all the tools come to life now.
Leave them all together. I mean, that looks clean too. Is that in view? The thing you hate?
Squeegee did this whole site. So like,
oh yeah, dude, it's so gorgeous. Squeegee's such a good web dev. I love those NFTs.
I made 2 collections with them for testing. But like, so I did a search. I did like a custom search engine. I think I might have told you. But now you, like, all of these filters are backend filters. So that's like live pulling from our database. So you don't have to do any kind of front end manipulation. And it's nice when you start getting into like massive collections to not have to pull all this down. Like, it's overkill for now. Don't get me wrong. It is utter overkill, but you know, if I want this stuff to scale up and go and be fast, like, these little touches are just like that just pulled from my back end, as like, you wouldn't even know. Like, this wasn't pre-seeded data. It just grabs it, and it's all pretty fast, responsive, and yeah. So I think this is going to be fun. I like this collection. So like, just lazy loading starts to get a little chunky because it's all IPFS limits you a little bit, but yeah, it's going well. So just about just about there. A couple more things to do. So a bit on that one. Yeah. So like there's a couple links that we still gotta fix and test, but yeah. Exciting times. Oh, this is broken because it's on my local. If it was on the website, it would work. It's just dumb. I don't have something set up. But,
Looks gorgeous, man. Well done. And my brother's
so,
here. And he just asked us, could I fix their issues? I don't know. I just know that Amir is a beast of a man.
yeah, I don't know what's broken specifically, but maybe something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
All
built
right.
using Vue, Rawson.
What tool did you? Yeah, it's all done in. So I do all JavaScript development, and Squeegee does all Vue development, and I'm working on improving my Vue skills right now. I've been trying to help him. Anything that's with JavaScript I can do, but the Vue stuff is a little different, and so I'm learning it right now, and I'm hoping in the next month I'll have done more than just learn it. I think I'm getting really comfortable with it, so it's very nice. I still prefer. You can shoot me, but I still prefer React. I don't know why. I feel comfortable with it. So yeah, I'll stop sharing now. I just wanted to show you kind of what I was. It's a lot we've been working on. Just this stuff is a lot of work.
Yeah, there's so many moving pieces. So
Yeah, that's CSS right there. I think that's all CSS. We don't do anything special. We just use CSS and I think a one component library maybe, and then we're just knuckleheads. We just code it all.
it's all code, man.
It's all code.
All code.
That's how we do it. So, all right, that's my show and tell for the week.
Yeah, so I guess I'll share my screen.
Did you get all that stuff working from last week? I know you said you were going to keep working on it. Yeah.
Yep. Check it. So we still have some issues with indentation that I haven't quite figured out. You can see this one is like hiding behind the other one. Got to figure out how to use BB codes to do all that. But I mean, look at it. Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah. It's nice and clean.
Yeah. Everything except for these lists is really nice. We got the bolding in there. We've got our italicized things. Italics is looking pretty good. I can load in a custom font. So the last two pieces to really get it looking correct or right are, I should say, images, loading in images, and also building out, the lists, just getting the lists to work. So, playbook, it's on its way. I can import a Google Doc, which is pretty awesome. It feels good. So that's our show and tell. Let's get to work, man.
Yeah, let's get cracking.
I've got a meeting with Tori right after this. Let's go, Tori. We're gonna hop on and do some AI training and stuff. She was on the call yesterday that I ran for group AI coaching. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was awesome having you there, Tori. You were like, I was like mentioning links. It's like, oh yeah, you can go to rundown.ai. And you'd be like, yeah, here's the link. It was awesome. I really appreciate it. It's great.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Flutterflow. personally. I've seen Sterling use it quite a bit. It looks good. View's good too. I am. I like my code like I like my wine. JavaScript. JavaScript. That's it's VUE. Yeah, VUE. View. View 3 is what he's using. I like my wine like I like my it's like I like my JavaScript. Oh boy.
Dude, Cursor has. I'm gonna sign into GitHub. There you go. Cursor has leveled up their game, man. It's getting more and more awesome. I was able to generate docs for all of my code in like maybe 2 minutes. Let's go to the beginning of each of these functions and hit Command K and write me doc strings. And yeah, Tori, I know Amir is hilarious.
I'd say I have to try, but it just happens.
I feel like I don't even know if I should call that an analogy or I like my code how I like my wine. JavaScript.
I should have been like how I like my coffee. It would have been better. The Java. But then somebody the other day was they were like, why do you use Node.js? Like it's just JavaScript in the backend. I'm like, because I can literally have an API running in 15 minutes from start to scratch, calling a database, getting it to your website, and throwing it in caching. And I'm like, am I scaling this for 1 million users? No. Oh, 100,000? No. 50,000? No. 10,000? No. 1,000? Maybe. Oh, does it do it? Does it do that? Yes, it does. It's perfect. Like it's like I actually like functional Java too. The question becomes why? Like if I can do it in 15 minutes, why would I spend an hour or two doing it another way? Like I don't know. I like doing Python too sometimes. Just I feel like if I want more structure, I'll use Python. I tried learning Rust. I sent you that article, the screenshot of the article. Rust is hurting your development skills, and I was like, well, I'm trying to learn it, so it's par for the course. Oh, he thinks
I'd like to know what makes them say that it's hurting your development skills. Did you actually read the article?
No, gosh, no. It was just I saw it and I thought of you immediately, because you were having the issues with Rust and getting this to visualize. But I actually like. I should go back and do. I should do more of this. C is very powerful. I just like my little JavaScript bubble. I like being in it.
Yeah, just like your wine, man. Don't worry, I get you. You like your wine. My brother asks, like, Strong is saying that GUIs like Flutter will break his brain because he thinks in C's and code. What about you, Amir?
Yeah. No, it's not because I see in code, but I think I've actually said that before. I I'm a very visual person. I'm a visual learner. I'm a visual teacher. I'm just a visual creature. And so you would think that something like that would be like, oh, visual tool, a GUI tool. I do not do well with any of the GUI tools, any of them. For a long time in my life, I didn't do good with a GUI OS. I when I was 12, I was working on Red Hat. I mean, like, talk about like a weird childhood. It's I don't know. It's just a interesting. Probably not that abnormal for what we do, but yeah, I just don't do well with like all these visual tools. Just they, I feel like they either slow me down, I get disconnected, or I just speak like I visualize what I'm working on, and then I can start typing it out. I visualize it, and when I try connecting the dots on the screen, it just I struggle. My brain doesn't do well. So it's a weird. That's weird, but silver spoon dart. I think dart's great. Sterling's got a funny story on how good I am at dart, though. I'll let him. Oh,
What were you trying to do? Was it create a function or make a
I
variable?
was trying to make a variable, a simple string variable. Maybe it was an array. I don't know. Object. I don't know. Maybe it was an object. That was it. And I'm just like, can you just give me the code? Because I can't do this. And you're just like, hey, just make a variable. And I was like, yeah, cool. Can you do that for me? And she's just like, yes, I could have done it. Some of it was funny, and some of it was like my brain was like, how do you do that with Dart? Like, I don't know.
I feel like my favorite part though was like there was this pause.
Yeah.
I just hear this like low like like can you do that for me? Like,
yeah.
Variable, man. Like what's this?
Yeah. You're just like, it's a variable. I think halfway through you realize like he's not joking. I think by the end of it I had figured it out as you were like typing it in there, and I'm like, I just I don't know. You do the Dart, man. I'll do the rest. Dart was the hardest part, so works for me.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good time. I'm kind of just trial and error in here to try and see if I can get it to format my bullets properly. I don't know where I need my new lines or where it's missing new lines. Wait, what the fetch is that? What is it? What is this? All right, that's it. Yeah, Cursor is an AI, like it's a fork of VS Code, but it's built with AI in mind. So I can just inline, I can just hit Command K and have it generate code for me. So let's just give you an example. The print text to the screen code is and then I accept. Boom. Oh yeah, it's super sexy. You can't link it to your personal GPT API pointers, not yet. But honestly, with something like this, you don't necessarily need to. The context of your code is generally enough. You can use it for free and you are service limited, or you can pay $20 a month and get access to it for unlimited. Just do unlimited GPT requests. So I tend to use this to write whole files, write out my documentation, etc. Because I just go to the beginning of a function and hit Command K and I say write the doc string for this function. So like all these doc strings, for example, I didn't write these. The AI did. Really nice. I had all my docs for all my code in about 2 minutes. Yeah, so super, super nice. There's additional things you can do with it. Like you can chat with your code base, for example, which is really nice if you've got a really complex code base. Yep, no excuse not to have docs now. Amir needs docs.
I do need docs badly. I document stuff, but I'm struggling. I'm gonna hire somebody on 5R to do my docs. Not because I don't have them, but to get them formatted pretty on GitBooks. The amount of time I've spent on it so far is worth more than the amount I would have just paid somebody to do it who's done it a million times. So it's like I'm not gonna have anybody from there code my stuff because that's I don't know if you're like this, but even like when we code together, it's hard. It's hard for me to like when Squeegee and I work together. Is it 5R? It's like 5RR, 2Rs. When him and I code together, like I try to stay out of what he's doing, and he stays out of what I'm doing, and then we just like as we need to work together, we'll do that. But if I'm working on his code, I like to work on a single page and either fork it or throw it in a gist and let him decide what he wants to add. Because I feel weird working on other people's code. That's just not comfortable for me. I like doing. It's probably why I like coding all my own stuff. Like it's not personal. I love the help. Like that's not even the problem. But it's really hard for me to take the help.
Yeah. I call it Fiverr Rawson. But that's semantics. Oh. I kind of like 5R. Makes you sound like a pirate. There we go. Now it looks all right. Kind of. Nope. Well, FF is way faster to write than Flutterflow, man. Writing Flutterflow out? Yeah, that sucks. Heck yeah, man. This is a place open to all people building awesome crap. Would love to let you show and tell, brother. Thanks for hopping in. Really appreciate it.
Take it easy. I like the interactive stuff. People coming in here. I didn't care what you talk about. Just come in here and throw us off.
Yeah, yeah.
I shouldn't have posted my video when my blue check mark's gone.
You hosted a video with your blue check mark on? Sorry.
I switched my profile pic to be one of my NFTs, my penguin NFT, and
Oh.
it nuked my blue check mark, and then I posted a video. So
Limited your reach.
I was saying I was just telling Screechy something. I went back the other day and I created an environmental variable. By default, it's I created a configuration file for mainnet, testnet, and devnet. By default, it's always on mainnet, but now I can easily switch testnet, mainnet, like on the fly across my whole code, right? And it's not hard, but like I had a site that was testnet, mainnet. Most of my stuff's in the environmental variables already, but I wanted it to be a little more like so I could throw it in a state manager. And so I spent like 30 minutes redoing all my like it's all it took me 30 minutes to make sure I got everything, re-upload stuff and clean it up. And I swear it's gonna save me like 50 hours in my lifetime, like just doing that. Like the amount of time you spend like finding the 5 to 6 commands you got to change is like I was doing it constantly. I don't know why. It's just being lazy. So I'm like, oh, I'll never be on testnet or I'll never be on mainnet with this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need to promote this to mainnet.
Yeah, being able to swap your environment is super important.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you don't do that, or when you don't make it easy to swap the environment,
Yep.
you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Long term.
It was easy to go in and just change my environmental variables. So like my test site had one set, my main site had another, and that worked fine. I wanted it to just be more dynamic. It just I'm trying to do better. So like even the documentation stuff, like I documented everything, but now I need to do better. It's not that I don't want to do better. It's just I'm spending a lot of time and I'm not getting a lot of results out of that time. So I'm hoping I don't know. I think lately I've taken more of a what would Sterling do approach. He would make a variable and just let it change dynamically or via click of a button.
I mean, that's what I did with Cadena Code. That's why I built Cadena Code, actually.
Yep.
It's honestly so that I could, so that I could swap between testnet, mainnet, test my code in real time. I mean, that was one of the best parts about Pact, actually, is that it's interpreted, and so I could test things in real time. And yeah, it was a very nice tool. And the fact that people still use it, I'm like, yes, solved a problem. Makes me happy. All right, well, this is interesting.
Why is it interesting?
So I'm kind of learning how Go BB code works. What's up, Ashish? How's it going? But
Hello.
I don't really know. It's like if I add an indent to the beginning, something like this, then it breaks it. And I'm like, why do you break? So we need to do some testing, figure out why you break. All right, so this is how I need it to look. Okay. See you, Victoria. Ashish.
Hey, Tori.
We are, I'm trying to build an HTML to BB code parser, which probably doesn't make all that much sense. Just trying to turn an HTML page into something that can be read by the Godot game engine and displayed by the Godot game engine. And I'm figuring it out. So now I know how it needs to look.
And I'm working on a database. Script. Let me finish. I'm just kidding. I'm just working on boring triggers and some logic to automate data movement right now for my project. And I have decided to try giving GPT access to not analyze my data, but to describe it in more, I don't know if I'd say real time, but yeah, real time. And so like, I'm curious to see the reason I'll explain the reason I'm doing it. A, because I can. That's probably the first reason.
There we go.
Yeah. And B, I am lazy in the sense that I want to analyze for changes and not have to always be paying attention to it. So like you could do like if you expect your data to come out the same way every time and it comes out different, you could do exceptions, right? You can do triggers from that. You can do all sorts of things so that you can handle that. And or maybe it's a new data source you want to hook up. I thought intelligently, if I let GPT-4 review those for me, it may be able to look at my code, look at that, and then suggest maybe a way to automatically add that to my index. I'm just playing around with it. It sounds silly, I think, but at the end of the day, it's like me letting it write a non-critical process to see how it functions, and can it write code good enough to update itself? I don't think so because it keeps screwing up. And I think GPT-4 is just screwing up for me in general right now. So I'm hoping they fix that. Whatever they've done recently, it's just messing me up. So hopefully that gets sorted out, and then I can turn this on and really just. I spend a lot of time looking at my data and making sure that I'm not missing anything. It'd be nice to just let something more expansive take a look. So I kind of just have like a little data feed that can store up to a couple thousand lines, and then it can read it and then give me its opinion on if it needs an update or not. So at worst case, it's all that human time I don't have to waste. And I'm not a game dev. He is. I'm just here.
Okay. I'll be honest, my brain didn't follow everything you were saying right there because I was trying to look up BB code stuff.
You look like you're in deep thought. Yeah, I'm just trying to make my life easier. I'm paying $1 a month to have GPT-4 do something that took me a couple hours. I think is well worth the price of admission. So I wanted to be able to write my scripts in real time if I'm missing something, or give me something output that's more intelligent than go troubleshoot it yourself. So that's, if I can get either of those two things done, I'll call it a win. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to eliminate my process. It's just gotta let me know intelligently that I need to take some kind of action without setting up a bunch of static rules. I try to avoid all that. This is all back to so you can have your code interpreter in your game, right?
This is part of it. I mean, I want to be able to load in like books, quote unquote books, because I feel like it'd be a really nice way to teach people. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So it looks like ordered lists. All right, so we have a slight problem with how the HTML is laid out and how I need to consume information from the HTML. Well, that's an interesting problem that I'm not 100% sure how to fix. And I'm out of time. I gotta go.
All right.
Oh,
You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
yeah, I'm gonna let the subconscious percolate on this a bit.
There you go. All right, man. Well, you have yourself a good rest of the day, and it's always good to catch up for a bit.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having some good laughs, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Good luck
Oh,
getting your AI to solve the world's problems.
I hope so. I think it'd be cool. All right, man. You take it easy.
See you, Amir.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.